And we are back on the Artie Lange Show. I'm Tom Green, and we're here with Michael Che, and this is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This is good, right, John? We having fun here today? How am I doing, first of all, hosting the show so far? Am I doing an okay job hosting the show
You're
so far?
slick.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I want to be professional. I want to come off as a professional.
Total pro.
Yeah. So, Michael, great to have you. You were just in Edinburgh. Did you just get back from Edinburgh?
Yeah, I was in Edinburgh all summer.
The Edinburgh Comedy Festival in Scotland.
Yeah, Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
With 9 R's.
Yeah. do they get the American comedians over there? Do they understand what
Well, Tom,
the
you
humor?
were there too, right?
Yeah, I'm Canadian though. They didn't know what the hell I was talking about. That's for sure.
I think, well, I got a lot of things going for me in comedy physically. Like, if they get up, when I get on stage and they see a skinny black kid up there, they're like, well, he was probably funny. And they just think it, they just assume it, like he's going to do some Chris Tucker thing or something.
Yeah.
So, so I have them for the first 2 minutes, and then when I got to start telling jokes, it gets pretty rocky.
Does it really? Does it get rocky?
Like, wait a minute, this guy isn't Chris Tucker at all. Yeah. No, it's fun. They get it. They just, the audiences, I don't know, you probably, I don't know what your experience was, but the audiences are a lot more polite and a lot more, they're more listening. You could start with a story there. It's not like in New York, it's a lot more fast-paced, it's a lot more joke. You gotta earn your right to keep their attention. Over there, they're there to listen. They'll sit there, they'll fold their arms, and they're paying attention, and at the end of the joke, they'll clap and laugh. It's a completely different thing. So a lot of times I think it's not going good, but it's just because they're paying attention to the story, they're not laughing every couple seconds.
And you're there for a whole month, right?
The whole month, every single day.
And then the show ends, and then they keep you out drinking scotch all night, every night. Do you drink a lot of scotch? Do you drink a lot of scotch over there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So then you're up all night, and then it's just impossible to have.
Brutal.
Yeah. Fun though.
I got an ear infection there.
Really?
Oh man, I was crying.
Really? From drinking scotch?
Those babies aren't lying, man. That really hurts. It hurts.
Yeah.
I went to the emergency room for it.
There was nothing worse than being sick on the road, too.
Oh, it was so brutal. It was, it was lucky because when I went to they wrote me a prescription for penicillin, and I swear it was penicillin for the ear infection. And they wrote me the prescription for the penicillin, and the pharmacist gave it to me, and I was like, well, how much? She was like, it's free. And I was like, is it empty? She's like, no, it's free. We got healthcare here.
Is that how it works in Canada?
That's how it works in Canada, too, yeah.
It's nuts. Wow. I was like, I'm going to take this penicillin. You better not chase me. And they didn't. They let me keep it. They even gave me a glass of water to take the first dose with.
Yeah.
I love that place.
They charge you for the water, probably.
Well, yeah, it was $47 for the water. I didn't know that. But it was good. It was cool.
Well, it might come to that here in this country, too, with Obamacare. You think?
I don't think so.
Free penicillin?
I hope so.
Yeah, free penicillin for everybody.
I hope so.
As soon as they get the website fixed, you can just click a free penicillin button and it just gets sent to you.
They did that website and they did it pretty bad. They did a pretty bad job with that website there. It was pretty awful.
Yeah. Well, you know, do you get into politics a lot in your stand-up?
I do, but I come from the perspective of I have no idea what politics are. I feel like it's the most honest.
Yeah.
Because I could get up there and talk about things that I've heard Bill Maher say, but that'd be stealing.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that.
What about this controversy? Is it a controversy at SNL this year? They're saying, the news is saying, oh, there's not a black female cast member, and they make a big deal out of this. And that sort of was the theme of the show this week.
That's their job, is to make controversy where it's not, it's been 38 years. They've had 3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What happened Thursday that made them all right about it at the same time? It's just weird. It's just a sexy story that people talk about. But, I think they're I'm on it now, so I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'll get some ovaries or something. No, I'm kidding. No, but it's I think poking fun at it was like the best way to handle it. I'm sure everybody knows there's talented people out there and they're gonna pick who fits the show, right? And
The media, they have a habit of going in there and just tearing things up, finding controversy where it doesn't exist.
Well, that's they were competing with a lot of themselves, so they have to find something to be outraged about.
You ever write a bit and then you read a review about it the next day?
Absolutely.
Is that the worst or the best, or is that something?
I love it. When I was a kid, I used to love when hip hop stars would get boycotted and and they used to break records. I always thought that was the coolest, sexiest thing in the world. I always man, I want to be controversial, and I don't want to be controversial anymore. I realize that you make a lot less money that way, but you do kind of, it is something cool where it's if everybody gets it, you feel man, I must not be trying that hard. There should be some people a little annoyed if you're talking about something real. Yeah,
I had an experience at SNL. I hosted it once, which was probably the coolest thing I ever got to do in my life.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I had a couple of friends from high school that were helping me on my MTV show, and I got the opportunity to host SNL, and I wanted them to be part of the experience with me. So I went in there with a couple of my buddies and was there, writing and trying to come up with ideas. And we kept thinking, let's think of something really, really stupid to do. And, we did it. And then afterwards, I'm not really sure if it was such a good idea, some of those things that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
This one thing, the one thing I always regret about the time I was on Saturday Night Live, well, I don't know if I regret it. Well, maybe I regret it, is there was this bit where the end of the show, I was pretending that I was going to get married on the show. And then my the girl I was going to marry, Reese Witherspoon, she doesn't show up. And I have a sort of a panic attack at the end of the show and freak out and start screaming to the sky. And that the amazing shot at the end of Saturday Night Live where everyone crowds around and it's the music plays. Well, in my episode, everybody just kind of walked away as I'm screaming at the rafters. And I guess my friends and I thought that would be some sort of artistic thing, but really it just ended up being, I didn't get to have that amazing moment at the end of Saturday Night Live,
But it's still time.
Yeah.
Are you banned?
What's that?
Are you banned?
I don't think I'm banned. No.
Oh, yeah, so you can do it again. No,
I had a great time there. It was a lot of fun. But there's a lot of bits, though, that we came up with where we were thinking, this is going to be really weird. And then you look at it 10 years later and you go, yeah, I don't know if I really... There was one bit where Will Ferrell and we dressed up as eagles. And then we ended up trying to feed each other. And we ended up, sticking our tongues down each other's throats in the audience and stuff. And I go, I don't know if I really should have done that. I don't know.
It took you 10 years?
Yeah. No, it was pretty much the next day I realized what I'd done.
But you see, that's the honest thing about the show is that, the whole week there, you have no idea what, you're only doing this for a room full of comedy writers. To us, it's hilarious because we understand a lot. You're talking to people in Iowa, though, the show's airing all over. And not everybody's going to get it. And we have no idea what's going to happen until we get there. And then it's too late. We built the set. We have to have a show.
Yeah. Is there a new sketch or that you think is going to pop out and be the next big thing? There's always a big sketch. What's the next big thing?
We have no idea.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what the show's going to be until the week of the show. We have we really start from complete scratch of what we're going to do. There's times we have no idea. So I don't know. Only of what's already aired is, that's it. But I have no idea. It's exciting, but there's a lot of talent. I'm telling you, there's tons of talent on that cast that I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of bits that end up recurring and becoming classic.
Great. Thanks, Michael. Okay, we're going to take another break. We'll be back. You're watching The Artie Lange Show. Stick around. And you are watching The Artie Lange Show. I'm Tom Green, filling in for Artie Lange with John Ritchie, and Michael Che is here. Michael, what was Eminem like? Did you meet Eminem?
I did not meet Eminem. Eminem is a very intense guy, and he walks from his dressing room to the stage, back to his dressing room.
There was some intensity there this week with the lip syncing controversy. Was he lip syncing?
Was he lip syncing? It didn't look like it. I don't know. No one told me that. I didn't even know that was controversy.
Yeah, I don't know even. I just read that somewhere on the computer.
I just feel like Eminem, man. He's so talented.
He's amazing.
Just as weird as he is talented.
I think he plays it up a little bit. There's no way you listen to his songs. There's no way has that kind of a sense of humor and he's that funny in records and doesn't get the joke of him being weirdly weird.
That's
Yeah.
got to be cool though. Like you're gonna have people like that coming in every week. You get starstruck sometime when you see
Absolutely,
Eminem walking
man.
by in the hall.
The most starstruck I've ever been, I think, on the show was like my first week there, and I was working on this. I was writing on the sketch. It was like 4:30 in the morning in the office, and I was dead tired, and I was getting really discouraged. And I walk out of the office. I go to the coffee place, like the coffee. They have coffee in the hallway. And I'm going there, and it's Dan Aykroyd pouring a cup of coffee.
Nice.
Because he's working all night, too, on the same sketches.
Wow.
And that was like, I'm at work with Dan Aykroyd. That made me feel like
Right.
it was like a strange moment where I was like, oh, wow, this guy's Dan Aykroyd, and he's still working hard at 4:30 in the morning. He could text a script, and they'll have to read it because he's Dan Aykroyd, you know? But he's like really working on it at the office. So that was pretty cool.
That's amazing. Now you're headlining Stand Up New York.
Yes, for New York Comedy Festival.
That's Friday, November 8th, part of the New York Comedy Festival, right? You just said that, yeah.
Yeah, I was
big
really
deal.
excited to get to do that. No, yeah, it's a really cool thing, you know? If you guys want to buy tickets, you're welcome to come.
Where's your show? When's your show?
My show is at 11 o'clock at Stand Up New York on 70th Street and Broadway, I believe is the address. And it's at 11 o'clock Friday.
Is it just great being in New York doing stand-up? Do you prefer it on the road?
Yeah, New York guy.
New York's always the best place to do stand-up. It's always, I love it the most. Like, but you know, it's cool to do it other places, but like you always miss New York when I'm gone. Like you always want to come back and do stand-up in New York because I feel like there's people come here for stand-up comedy, so they're excited to get, you know, something cool. So that's my favorite place.
Well, hey, congratulations on,
Thank you,
on the
man.
new gig at SNL.
Wait, we didn't talk about my baby. No, I'm kidding. I don't have a baby.
We'll definitely be tuning in. Tune in to SNL. Watch for Michael's writing on there, and check him at the New York Comedy Festival. We'll be back in a minute. You're watching The Artie Lange Show. The Red Blacks.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.